me to run into somebody. You can push me into them. I really don't like them. Push me into them. I'll blame it on my tumors. But there's...
Stopped recording.
Sorry. I just made a couple of quick notes, and now, because the brain tumors, I can't find them. But the biggest thing in here is facing our fear, because the hardest thing for me to do was to go back to the oncologist. Like, especially when you've had a time of being, I went 13 years and 7 years. No, 10 years and something like that. Anyway, of being cancer-free. And it's like, you go through all of that stuff, and the last thing you think when you walk into the doctors after you've been cancer-free for a long time is that you're going to walk out with cancer. And like this round, I just wouldn't accept it. And then I figured if I didn't go to the oncologist, they couldn't tell me I had cancer, so I didn't go to the oncologist, because then I didn't have cancer if he didn't tell me, right? Okay, I am blonde. But it was logical to me. And that logic didn't play out. And it was so funny because therein that night, I got to practice the first thing about conquering my fears is that when I conquer fears, I can help other people conquer their fears. Because the poor little guy that had to tell me that I had cancer when we went into ER, I swear it was like his first night as an ER or an intern. And he's sitting on my bed and patting my leg, and it's like, well, you didn't have a stroke. And I'm like, okay. And he goes, but you have some lesions in your brain, and you have a collapsed lung, and, well, you have some tumors in your lung. I'm like, I have cancer again? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, what do we do? And he's like, what? I'm like, what do we do now? He's like, well, we're going to take you over to have surgery, and you're going to... I'm like, okay. He's like, this is it? This is it? This is what I get? And I'm like, dude, I've walked this path before. I know I'm going to be all right. So I got to help somebody right there, the very first moment. And there's so many different things along the way. You sit in radiation and just grab the hand of the person sitting next to you because you can tell they hurt. Or you can look in their eyes and see they're not accepting. You meet lots of different people. I see people out here. I'm like, oh, I was in radiation with them, and oh, I know them, and and I wonder, oh, do they remember me? And it's like, you know what? It doesn't matter if they remember me. The point is that I saw them, and I knew that they're okay for that moment, and I could say another prayer for them, and I remembered them. And it's not about what, I've never asked, why me with cancer? Why not me? What makes me any more special than you? What makes me any special than anybody else that deserves to breathe? I'm not special. So I've never thought, why me? I've definitely thought, why now? But there's always been a reason. And the reason has always been because God has something greater waiting for me. Because every time I get the gift of waiting, I get the gift of a cure, even if it's a little while. So I've seen 20 more years of my life, well, 21 now, than I thought I would have seen in 1994. And we're fighting right now to get me into a study that hopefully will give me more time. So great places can find a cure for people like us, so we can blow another birthday balloon out. Actually, even blow the candle out. I'd be good with that. But I really thank you for letting me put yeah, whatever. You who know me love me. But I can say that the only way we can walk through any of this together is by having hope and having faith and having courage. I have a tattoo on my back that I share with one other person in my life. And it says, courage knows no fear. And I still share that today, because I still, in my darkest moments, knows that courage has no fear. get it when I had cancer, and I was sober. But it did happen, one of those moments where we go, oh, you're my best friend, I love you. So, you know, courage doesn't know any fear, because if we walk out of this on the other side, there's going to be something brighter and something shinier, and we're going to be a better person for the other side we come out of. And I am not going to be, there's nothing about me that's going to walk out of this darker. And there's no one around me that's going to walk out of this with darkness. You just look at it with hope, faith, and love. Thank you.
Amen.
I would hate to be the person that has to follow that.